Okay, so this is our first lesson in our parts of speech unit. If you are attending school in person, we will be doing these lessons in person. I'll have, the slides up on the board and I'll be giving the lesson in person. But if you are absent on the day of the lesson, or if you're a Jays Away student, or if you're on quarantine or anything like that, these videos will exist to take place of the in-person lessons. So you should be watching this video and taking notes in your digital notebook. So the digital notebook will follow along with the slides, and there will be spots for you to take notes on all of the different parts of speech as we go through. So as you're watching this video and taking notes, obviously pause the video when you need, to take a second to write down. Make sure that you're getting all of the important parts because your digital notebook will be graded at the end of the unit. So you need to make sure that you are watching these videos and taking your notes as we go along. So just a little overview of the parts of speech. There are 9 of them, 9 parts of speech. And these are basically the categories of words. So every single word in any sentence that could ever be written in English can be categorized into one of the 9 parts of speech. So that's what we're going to be learning. We're going to be studying each part and learning how to label all the words in a sentence as one of the 9 parts of speech. So here they are. There's nouns, which are a person, place, or thing. Pronouns are a stand-in for a noun. Adjectives describe a noun or a pronoun. Verb expresses action. Adverb describes a verb or adjective. Preposition describes relationships between nouns. Conjunctions join parts of a sentence together. And interjections express a burst of emotion. So this is just a very quick overview of what we're going to be studying throughout the rest of the unit. We will have a lesson on and a homework assignment on each of these different parts of speech. And then at the end, we will have a test over the entire thing. So today, we're going to be focused on nouns. A noun is a person, place, thing, or concept. That's our definition of a noun. A person, place, thing, or concept. This includes names. Those are proper nouns, right? Names of people or places. It also includes abstract ideas. These are the trickiest nouns. Things that you can't see or touch, but that are still things are still nouns. So that's things like feelings and concepts. So let's look at some examples. Mother is a noun because that's a person. Bathroom is a noun because that's a place. Courage is a noun. That is a concept. So that's a good example of one of those abstract ideas. Courage is a noun because it is a thing. Even though it's not a thing that you could feel or touch, it is still a thing. So it's a noun. Map is a noun because it's a thing. Charleston High School is a noun because it's a place. Happiness is another of those abstract ones. It's a concept, something that you can't touch, but it's still a thing. So it's a noun. So go ahead and take a minute, pause the video if you need to do so, and make sure that you take notes in your digital notebook on the definition of the noun and some examples of all 4 types: people, places, things, and concepts. For our next activity here during our notes, what you're going to do is take a moment in your notebook and look at those example words down there at the bottom and categorize them. So you'll just click on them and move them. If it's a noun, move them to the noun side. If it's not a noun, move them to the not a noun side. I want you to go ahead and try this on your own first. So go ahead and pause the video for a second and move the nouns to which side you think they are. And then when you replay it, when you play the video, I'll go through them and you can check your work. So pause the video now. Okay, so hopefully now you have categorized the words into nouns or not nouns. So now let's check your work. If you missed one, go ahead and move it to the proper side and make a note of that in the little notes section at the bottom. So first we have honest. And honest is not a noun. So honest should be in the not noun side because honest is a describing word. You would use it to describe a person. It is not a person, place, or thing. Honesty, on the other hand, is a noun. Honesty is a thing, a concept. So that's yes, a noun. Missouri is a noun because it's a place. Hat is a noun because it's a thing. Hear is not a noun. That's an action. Right? Hearing something is an action, not a noun. Furious is not a noun. It's a describer. You would use that to describe a person. Embarrassment is a noun because it's a concept. So take a moment here and make some notes about how you did. If there's any that you missed, maybe take a note about why it is or isn't a noun so that you know for the future. Now we're going to go through some examples. So what you should do for each one is find all the nouns in the sentences and highlight them. There's instructions for how to highlight on your digital notebook. So our first sentence is Margaret has 6 pairs of blue sandals. Take a moment and find the nouns. I'll tell you there are 3 nouns in this sentence. So take a moment on your notes and highlight what you think are the nouns. And in just a moment, I'll reveal the answer and you can check your work. So you should be finding 3 nouns in this sentence. Okay, I'm going to reveal the answer now. Our 3 nouns are Margaret, because she's a person, pears, because it's a thing, a pair of something is a thing, and sandals, because it's a thing. So our 3 nouns were Margaret, pears, and sandals. So make sure you've got those correct on your notes. Next example, the boy and girl were holding hands as they crossed the bridge on the edge of town. There's way more nouns in this one. There are 6 nouns in this one. So take a minute and find your 6 nouns. I'm going to reveal the answer now. Our nouns are boy and girl, because those are people. Hands, because that's a thing. Bridge is a thing. Edge is a thing or a place. And town is a place. Okay, so those are our 6 nouns. So make sure you've got those right on your notes. Next example. Lamar and Yancey rode to the middle of the lake to escape the swarm of mosquitoes on the shore. Take a moment and find your nouns. Go ahead and highlight them on your notes. There are 7 nouns in this one. Find all of the ones that you can of the 7, and then check your work in a moment when I reveal the answer. Okay, here's our answer. First 2 nouns are the people's names, Lamar and Yancey. Those are people. Middle is our next noun. That's a place. The middle of something is a place. Lake is also a place. Swarm and mosquitoes are both things. A swarm of something is a thing, and mosquito is a thing. And shore is a place. So those are our 7 nouns in that sentence. Make sure you've got the correct answer on your notes. And last example here. The man could not believe his anger when a taxi almost collided with his bicycle. There are 4 nouns in this sentence. 4 nouns. Okay, I'm going to reveal the answer now. Our 4 nouns are man. That's an easy one. That's a person. Anger. That's one of those more difficult concepts, right? It's a feeling, but anger is a thing that you can have. Taxi is a thing, and bicycle is also a thing. So this concludes our lesson on nouns. Make sure that you've got your notes filled out and that you have all the right answers on your notes and stuff. And now you should be ready to move on to the practice and the homework.